Hey guys, and welcome once again to the STPL. I am nursing a sore throat, but you know what, I'm still here. It seems to be a little bit better now. I've had sort of all day to rest it, so hopefully it should be good, but my voice may sound a bit weird. You know what, not too much I can do about that, unfortunately. I nearly forgot to turn my video source on, but there we go. We're starting off with a pretty cool match to start with. Unfortunately, there is something about this matchup that I will introduce in just a second. But let's head on. There we go. Throat is going already. It's all good though. I'm gonna see if I can grab Cadenzi maybe for next week, seeing if she wants to do it. Hopefully I'll get someone else though to help ease my poor throat. You know, I do cast 3 nights a week, so that kind of messed that up. Thank you very much for the follow. But let's actually head on over to the overlay and let's see what the first matchup for today is going to be. And let's go. Okay, so we're going to start off today with Net Wars versus SK Alpha. Now this is a really cool matchup. Both teams are quite even, I would say, power level wise, if we're going to use anime terms. But unfortunately there is a little bit of a problem with this match. I say a little bit, there's 3 little problems, and I will say what they are in just a second. As you can see, both of them have been doing really well in the STPL so far. Net Wars have only played 2 games, this is their 3rd. This is SK Alpha's 4th, and SK Alpha are currently 3-0, doing incredibly well. And look at Net Wars' Protoss score, they are completely dominating everybody. Let's actually have a look at what maps we're going to be seeing today, and then we can actually head on over to see who is going to be playing on them. So we're going to start off with New Empire of the Sun, move on to Pathfinder, move on to Gladiator, move on to Polaris Rhapsody, and finally, in the Ace match, we're going to hit Grand Line. Now the players that are supposed to be playing today would have been, in the first game, second and third game, True Touch versus Last, Mazur versus Terra, and Yeti versus Magician, but unfortunately, how the hell, yeah, there's 6 players. I was like, how have I counted to this many? But unfortunately, none of those games were played. So we're going to go straight into Game 4 in this first game. It's a bit disappointing. My thing has always been trying to get all the games played, but they just could not work it out this week, unfortunately. And it has led to 3 walkovers, but that has made the score 1-2, so we're going into the 4th match, and we could very well see an ace match here, actually, depending on the results of the games. Depends on how it goes, obviously, but let's actually just play the Brute Ball music for now. But as you can see on the screen, it is going to be kogeT versus Dewalt first. Let's actually just have a look at the players, see how they've been doing so far. kogeT's won both of his games, he does have a 100% win rate, and Dewalt has won all 4 of his games, so he is also an absolute beast. So it should be a lot of fun to see both of these players duking it out here on Polaris Rhapsody. Now, if you've watched any of the casts before, you will know that Polaris Rhapsody is a 2-player map. You have the spawns at 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock. There is double gas in the 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock position, really good for Terran and Protoss if they can get it. A little bit harder to get it is further away, and of course you do have the closer mineral only, which is a little bit easier to defend, but of course you only do get minerals from that. And there are the 2 mineral only bases in the middle and the 2 gas bases at 3 and 9 as well. So gonna be cool to see exactly how this map is gonna play out with them. But it should be a lot of fun. It is kind of weird for me to start a series on Polaris. I've not done that so far, but hopefully it's going to be good. And let's not waste too much time. If you can, guys, share the word that this is coming up, because this should be hopefully a very fun game, and I'm very much looking forward to casting it. So let's head on over to the game, and let's see how both of them ended up playing on Polaris Rhapsody. Okay, all the overlay is ready, which is good. Everything should be on, all the sound effects and everything. And starting us off in the top left position, we do have the Purple Protoss fighting for SK Alpha, who find themselves 2-1 down in this set. It's going to be Dewalt. And starting us off in the bottom right, it's going to be the Orange Terran fighting for Net Wars on match point. It's going to be kogeT. Or kogeT as I used to call him. But Foxan, this is all replays, so hopefully that isn't a problem for you. I know some people do prefer live casts, but due to the nature this is a worldwide tournament, we have people from all over the world in it. It makes it a little bit harder to arrange for everyone to arrive at one time, which is why I do allow people to sort of rearrange their games and everything like that. But it doesn't... Whoop. Okay, I can't actually move my mouse off the screen while it's on there like that. I'll just move everything. But this should be a lot of fun. We did have a... Well, I mean, In Control was nice enough to give me a shout out on the Pylon show on Wednesday, so hopefully a few more people will learn about the STPL, start tuning in, support the players, and I'm looking forward to getting some of the winners' interviews up over the weekend. The score is 2-1 because unfortunately in this series there was a massive amount of trouble getting the players to meet up together, and there was 3 walkovers. That's why I'm starting on game 4. But luckily enough, this is possibly one of the most epic games we could have in the series. It's going to be Dewalt versus kogeT, two of the best players on their respective teams, so this should be a lot of fun. This is the most walkovers I've had in the tournament so far, and I have said to the teams, please do everything you can. I just need to turn my scroll speed down. It seems to all reset itself. Everything else seems fine, just my scroll speed, what the hell. Either way, we have the gas and the barracks coming up for kogeT. kogeT going for the more traditional wall. Of course, you can actually wall here, but it does make it a little bit more annoying late game when you're dealing with recall and things like that. So, doing the normal thing, I guess. But the next series should be a lot better. There was no walkovers in that one. And that's going to be kind of the main event today. But of course, this is kogeT versus Dewalt. Two really, really strong foreign players at the moment. kogeT, one of the strongest foreign Terrans. My coach in the CPL as well, along with Cryarch and Favourite from IRK. But still, going to be a lot of fun. We have the core coming up. We also have a second pylon in the back of the base. He could... Spoiler alert, Zerg wins. I didn't quite get if this was a 12-12, but 12-12 is something you can do. It leads very well on to Siege Expand. If you 12-12, one of the benefits of going for that is you do get your gas and your minerals to the perfect degree of going for Siege Tank and Siege Mode at the same time, as long as you build everything at the perfect speed, and as long as you pull gas at the right time. Of course, when you get to about 88 gas is when you want to pull out of the refinery to start building to start gaining a little bit more minerals. Allows you to get that quicker command center on about 21 supply. But it should be fairly normal. Now kogeT's chased the probe away with his marine. This is going to allow him to expand when he wants to. The only problem is he will have to worry about proxies and things like that. As you can see here, he's hiding his SCV over at the mineral only third base, just because he wants to make sure. But as you see, kogeT actually delaying his factory just a little bit, delaying his command center even. He actually went for the add-on first, and I believe he went. Wait, how is his command center so late? That's kind of strange. Usually you get the command center around 21. I guess it's because he did go for the quicker machine shop. This is going to mean his timing is a little bit off, but he does get the tank immediately, and his minerals and gas should pair up close enough to getting siege perfectly on 150, but no, it looks like because he did delay that just a little bit, he is going to have to get the depot first, and that does delay the siege mode a little bit, but he could have always go for mines first, and that's exactly what he's doing. So he's actually going a slightly different build. Mines, of course, very strong. It's going to be a while before the Protoss does get the robotics up. He did actually send his SCV and scout this, so that's a really, really nice move by him. Showing his knowledge of the Terran versus Protoss matchup. Gonna send an extra SCV out as well, just to check exactly what's going on. And thank you for tuning in, everyone. This is going to be a pretty fun game, so hopefully you all do enjoy it as well. And we're just sort of getting started for the evening. I was really worried this morning because I woke up because where it was so hot overnight, I must have got incredibly dehydrated because I had a horrible sore throat all morning. And somehow the SCV actually gets in up the ramp Really, really nicely done. Looks like he must have mineral walked it through with his previous SUV. So really, really nicely done by him. He's going to scout the robotics. He's going to scout the number of gateways. 3 gateways, of course, on the way for the Protoss. And this is going to allow kogeT to take his base pretty much unhindered. Of course, he will start getting out those vultures with the mines. Looks like he's actually going to try and push in against the minimal number of dragoons there. But does pull back when he can't move across everything. Hopefully the stream isn't lagging too much. I am really trying hard to get partner status just so I can add the ability to give you the chance to lower the quality and things like that. I know I do stream in quite a high quality, and I actually don't know how exactly to fix that any other way. Everything is designed for 1080, so I can't resize everything annoyingly enough. I did used to stream in 1600 by 900, but when Remastered came out and I started streaming in native resolution, I thought it made more sense to stream at 1920 by 1080. Man, I am bad with resolutions. Here we go. Looks like the first vulture gonna go in. Gonna see the probe waiting to take the Nexus. And I believe he should have actually seen the Nexus coming up as well, because the probe did die a little bit later. But I mean, what he's doing right now is he's moving around with his vultures, making sure he puts mines in all of the areas that the Protoss player would like to expand, and also to try and block units from moving forward. It does mean that Dewalt is going to have to wait for observers. Makes it a little bit more annoying, whereas Dewalt is just going to be building up a lot of units, going to start pumping some observers as well, and he should be able to move out soon on the map. Now, one of the really, really important things about this at this position here is, of course, if you didn't see on the map overview before, there's actually 2 areas in which you can move to the bottom and south of the map, as well as these 2 bridges. These 2 bridges are incredibly hard to push forward over as Terran and Protoss, because of course it does create a massive choke point at the end. As you can see, kogeT already has his tanks ready to siege there. And just to make sure nothing crazy comes up here, going to try and block some vultures and everything. Dewalt's going to leave some dragoons up here. Now there is a sort of pretty big ramp leading up to this, but of course he does have a small ramp leading here to his 4th base as well. And just going to transfer some probes with the dragoons, making sure to keep them alive. But here we go, the first observer is going to move in. The most important thing it's going to see is the factory count. Dewalt's going to feel pretty safe. There's not going to be any kind of crazy all-in attack coming anytime soon. We do have a very quick starport for kogeT. He's obviously going to go into a dropship most likely off of the back of these 2 factories. But there we go. He's actually going to take this mineral-only third rather than going for the one in the bottom left. Now, this is kind of interesting. It is a little bit easier to defend because you do have this very small area here. You can actually wall it off. And it does lead to this ramp here in the middle, but he is going to move all of his units up there. The observer is going to see this, and Dewalt should need to actually move some extra units into this top corner. But I do wonder if kogeT's going to play pretty greedy, going to try and take this this gas base. But other than that, not really too much going on. Both of them looking to kind of macro up, power up just a little bit. And we do actually have the Stargate coming up. Citadel Dune's done. We should have a Templar Archives as well. And the Forge. The Forge is going to start getting those +1 attack upgrades. Armor not too important in PvT, of course. Tanks do a lot of damage, so armor doesn't really help too much, especially early game. Late game, when you do start getting more and more zealots and things like that, it does kind of matter, but most of the time, to save a little bit of gas, Protoss players usually skip those. I think most of the time Protoss players would go to like 3-1, but here we go. Looks like Dewalt is going to try to move up to put some pressure on this 3rd base. Of course, the 3rd base is pretty well defended. He has created a semi-wall here, but with the shuttle moving in from the side, this could actually do a lot of damage. Really nice early missile turret. Gonna make this a little bit easier to defend, but this Zealot gonna try and do as much damage as they can. Zealots on top of the back tanks. One of them does go down to Siege Tank Splash. And here we go, we actually have a lot of Dragoons moving in. It looks like he's somehow busted this position, despite having a very good wall. Dewalt moves in with his shuttle Zealot Bomb, and does a lot of damage. A lot of SCVs have gone down, and this command center is likely not going to be able to fly away. And that is very, very unfortunate for kogeT. Played a little bit greedy, and GG! Dewalt takes out kogeT in the 4th game.